Howdy there, Shadow Priest. Today we're going to be looking back at a 3v3 match around 2850 MMR. I'm playing Warrior Shadow Priest Paladin, which I rated as being one of the best comps, Warrior Shadow Priest. I thought Shaman would be better initially, but it seems like the cleaves are too strong and Paladin plays a really nice role into those matchups. Now we're playing against Windwalker Boomkin. Not really the most popular comp, but still scary. We need to play very well defensively, so we're going to be looking at critiquing some of my mistakes with my positioning, my cooldown usage, and just my overall decision making in the arena. I usually do this by myself. I look back and try to identify mistakes, but I thought maybe I could share this with some people, and you can get a little look into how I see the game and how I should be playing a lot better. So against this team, our main strategy is going to be to stun the Windwalker with Stormbolt. We have Stormbolt over here, and then I'm going to use my CC on the healer at the same time, and that way we can cross CC them and hopefully get a kill. The Boomkin is really tanky, so we're not going to try to kill him too much. My first goal is going to be to dot this Windwalker, try to get him at least VT'd before he gets to me, but he instantly rolls to me and roots me, so I'm going to have to try to do something here to survive their kill attempt. Now, if you see I try to place an MD, let's see if I can highlight that better. So I try to place the MD here because I know he's going to get beamed. And because of the camera positioning, this is really annoying, the statue pops up and I'm like MDing absolutely nothing here. So I have to cancel that. I think what I'm going to do here is fade. But I was looking back at this and I thought it wasn't really the best use of fade, because if we just take a look at what's going on with the Windwalker and the Boomkin, they haven't really popped too many cooldowns. I think this guy maybe just used his badge and like his curing ability, but he hasn't summoned his images, he hasn't started fisting yet, he hasn't brought the tiger out, so I think we're actually overcommitting fade here before they used anything. Now luckily they're going to continue their setup and I just stay max HP from the fade. I didn't fake the MD here. My thought process was that if I could mind control the Boomkin, that he could dispel himself from the beam, or I could stop any further CC. But I'm going to get robbed here, and now this is when they start blasting. So we have Order Mastery up from the Boomkin, Incarn, and also Convoke. So he's going to Convoke and get Storm bolted on it instantly, which is really good. Had he been bopped like a second earlier, he bops right here, I would have had to disperse for sure. And now we see all of the Windwalker's pets coming out. He's got his Earth, Wind, and Fire bullshit. That's basically going to add almost like double the damage. I think it's like 50% of his attacks are mirrored by the pets, so he's going to be cranking me. I make the decision to go ahead and fear here because I'm super scared and I see we're getting low. Kind of a bad play in my opinion. I typically will like fear the DPS and then silence the Palliate Appeal so he can't dispel, but he ends up trinketing, so probably a little mistake on that Windwalker's part. He could have been dispelled. It's typically better to fear when you see Fist too. I think fearing the Fist is really annoying for a Windwalker. But again, I made that mistake. Here's another big mistake. Instead of like just staying in the open and max ranging my healer, I bring the Windwalker closer to him. So you can see I'm kind of moving this way. My healer he's right here. You can't really see him. You can see the mark. He gets incapped because I bring the Windwalker so close to him. Now, if I took the Windwalker further away, we could have potentially, set up our burst scenario and they wouldn't have been able to run that far. But because I bring them right to the pillar, we're going to get CC'd really hard here. He hodges, and that's fine because his incap will break all these fists with the pets. So remember, fearing the fist would have been better in this situation. I kind of whiffed my fear very, very early on. And since we're stacked so hard right now, it's going to be hard to actually survive this cleave pressure. So I think what we should be doing outside of our stun attempts, we should probably be just having the warrior ride the Boomkin so he's not getting cleaved, and then I should be taking the Windwalker away from my paladin because now he's at risk for getting focus kicked, and obviously that incap earlier was unfortunate for us too. Now I use Vampiric Embrace here to kind of try to stabilize our team, but I'm not really bursting too hard. Maybe it would have been better to like be in void form first. Luckily we get a nice setup here on the Windwalker. Feared the healer. My healer knows he won't be kicked, so he gets a Repentance, I believe, as well. I mind games the Windwalker, which gets diffused back onto me. That's fine, you have to force cooldowns anyways, and they're not really killing me, so the mind games doesn't do that much to me. Now, when they're not on me, I need to position further away from the Boomkin, so I should be trying to range clones to the best of my ability. It's kind of troll just getting cloned on your void form over and over again. Since he's the only target in the open, I really want to keep up maximum damage and uptime, trying to like ramp my insanity as much as I can. So we're shooting some shadow crashes at him, but then as soon as the Windwalker's back in my line, I'm gonna refresh that Void Bolt, keep my VT up, reapply my Shadow Word Pain, and look for a kill setup soon here because we have Stormbolt back up. Now I Void Form for 6 more seconds, and I really should have used that global right there that I just Shadow Word Pain the Pally with to Void Bolt the Windwalker. That would have been more optimal damage-wise. Notice that. And here's the Cyclone out of my Paladin. Actually faked this interrupt very good. And he's got not only his Tiger, but his images round 2. This Earth, Wind, Fire thing has 2 charges. So this is the rest of the Windwalker's burst. And after this, they won't have too much offensively. They've already used Incarn, Convoke, and both of the Windwalkers cooldown. So as long as I can live this here, and I know I have Disperse, we should be alright. So MD the CC. Unlucky, I still have VT on me from the diffuse earlier. Pally calls for my Fade. Totally fine. If you get too low against a Windwalker and you Disperse, you can just die. If you're below, I think like, what is it, 15%, they can just Touch of Death you and it'll kill you through Disperse every time. So Fade is a more effective cooldown when you're that low sometimes. I know there's no interrupt, so I pump out a few Shadow Mends. And now we're making the mistake again of being all stacked. So he gets his Spinning Crane Kick procs, and that is going to do massive AoE damage. We're all getting hit by this. You can see the Warrior's low HP. He doesn't have any cooldown, so my Pally is very, very scared for him. So again, we need to probably swap off the Windwalker and go onto the Boomkin just while we don't have our stun, so we're not getting cleaved as heavily. And I should never bring the Windwalker towards my Paladin. I kind of realized the errors in my ways, and instead of standing there and just healing, the Pally is having to move further away from me. So let's just take a look at what he's doing here. Let's play. He's moving, casting instants instead of just spam healing me. He's forced to bot me because he can't do any healing output while the Windwalker is right next to him with his kick almost back up and leg sweep back up as well. So really bad positioning by me. I realize this and I even call it out in voice, like, I shouldn't stack by you, that's my bad. And, you know, just identifying those mistakes early on and trying to correct them during the game can be really beneficial. Now, I'm bopped, so I should have probably done a little bit more casting here. I'm spamming Shadowman, but I don't think I have enough mana for it, so I throw out a shield. Pally has to sack him, and now we just need to turn this around and get some pressure right away. Stormbolt comes back up. My CC is ready, so I see that no Stormbolt hits, so I'm running into the Pally's line, spamming my CC as soon as he comes back out. He's trying to line my CC right now, so I take the opportunity while the Windwalker is stunned to cast Mind Games. And as this cast goes off, I'm going to be spamming my Psychic Horror Bind. It's better to Horror instead of Silence first, because he's pillaring me really hard, and if I just silence him, he's going to go around the pillar again and then peek with like a cooldown. Like he's going to peek with Sack, or he's going to peek with a big Wog and top him off. So it's better to stun them in place so they can't LOS you in that way. So we get the stun. I'm unfortunately stacked too close for the sweep. We should have seen that coming on the Omnibar, that we should never triple stack when they have sweep up. That's just like Windwalker 101. Luckily, we're able to time our offensive damage really well, and we get bubble sack without me even using silence. We also got Karma here too. Karma's not the biggest defensive cooldown right now, especially if you're at 4k HP. The Warrior can probably execute you twice and break that, so they overlap, but it was necessary, I think, for them. Since we're stacked, my Pally gets beamed, and we just start getting railed here, so he bubbles out of that to keep the Warrior up. At this point, I know I'm not really the target since I have Fade and Disperse basically back. Unlucky, we accidentally rep the Boomkin instead of the Paladin. Maybe could have closed the game out here if we got it. Fear the War Mastery, this is good. Whenever you see Divine Favor, it's a 30-second cooldown. Try to purge that if you can to reduce their healing output. So I'm going to purge Pally. We're ready to kill this Windwalker very soon. I think we just need a couple of seconds for Stormbolt. Take the interrupt. I'm cloned, but it doesn't really matter because they're not doing too much. And like I said, we're just waiting on Stormbolt. So as soon as we get that Stormbolt, I'm going to be looking to silence the healer. Here comes the Stormbolt. Silence the healer. Paladin's casting Rep out of line of the Boomkin. 100% chance we kill him here. Just casting Mind Flays in order to be able to death him. So I feel like this is a pretty good use of globals. I put my Damnation up. He's DP'd. I'm slowing him so he can't run away. He does try to run, and as soon as he's in death range, he gets deathed, and they die there. Now, we still actually need to watch out because this Boomkin has Convoke back. It's really funny. I'll play the game with voice after, and you can hear us like kind of take a sigh of relief, and then all of a sudden he starts convoking, and we start freaking out because he's convoked with the War Mastery. So you never know when you're gonna die. Overall, I think we played super well offensively, but we gave up so many defensive cooldowns because we were stacked too much, and I kept bringing the Windwalker towards my healer. Never a good idea to bring melee to your healers, guys. Always try to range them away from their healer, but simultaneously keeping them away from your healer. So you got to play like this weird game where you have to be aware of both of the healers' positioning. Otherwise, you're going to be in a load of trouble with those focus interrupts and everything. But thank you so much for watching. Hope this was beneficial for anybody to hear. I'll play the game with voice after. Aggro 2 to win. These guys are playing Convoke, by the way.
You ripping me already?
Should get bait then. Gonna be.
I just trinketed there.
Okay.
I thought they were gonna.
He's gonna Hodge me. He's gonna Hodge me for sure.
I stopped.
Stun the Convoke,
Okay,
stun the
good.
He bopped, he bopped, he bopped, he bopped, he bopped. I pressed everything, I pressed everything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Hodge full.
This guy's right next to us. I can disperse. It's probably fine to do it.
Nice to, nice to.
Kill the Windwalker, ready? Kill the Windwalker.
Yeah.
I get her up here. I bop you one, bop you one. Yeah, I did.
Try to sound shrink it in a sec.
Nice.
He's gone.
Okay, I can't re-CC. It's you. It's all you. It's all you.
Yeah, 100% me. Got it.
I have the most damage for Boomy too.
Watch how you monk. Watch how you monk. Watch how you monk.
Okay.
For me.
Silence.
I'm clone now. Clone. Just keep doing damage. We're doing good.
I'm getting fucking ass right,
man.
man.
Stun the Windwalker in a second.
I have no trinket, but I have disperse still.
Okay. I'm clone full.
Fade kick, MD.
Stun fist.
Fade.
Out. Yeah, fade now.
Yeah, he blinded. Okay.
No kicks.
Maybe I top us here?
I have nothing.
Yeah.
The boom can
I
clone.
intervene reflected clone there. I'm just
Bro,
dead.
like, what is this damage, man?
Might clone me. It's my bad for stacking on you. That was those Windwalker's cooldowns.
He has her beam, bro. Like, I can't do anything right now.
Just
trying to heal you.
I'm sitting in D.
Maybe I top you. Sack.
Oh my god.
Beam comes. I can try to MC Boomy on the beam, okay?
They're gonna,
I'm stunning the Windwalker. Killing him.
Okay, try to win.
I have damage, random.
It's Karma.
Who's it on?
Beam.
I bubble this.
Okay.
No. Nice, he bubble two.
Yeah,
I get a rep in one.
He did.
Maybe. I get this full rep.
What's on Boomy? Trying to fear to Zora.
Okay, nice.
Druid
I might be able to time a full Hodge off. Maybe I time a full Hodge off.
Kick on clone. Reflected it.
Got it, Hodge.
Okay. I have silence out too. Oh, never mind.
Going Windwalker in a second, okay? I have really big damage for this guy in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Stun. Oh, yeah. Stun me on the pillar.
Sounds.
I get a rep. Guaranteed.
Okay.
Go. I'm DB'd. I'm killing one. Nice. How the fuck did that rep do?
Dude, I can't wait to play Windwalker, man. It's so fun.
So busted, bro. Did you see when we were stacking there and the Boomy was in a clone? Wait, Convoke! Dude, I PTSD. Actually thought we were about to lose there. Game was taken from my stream as well. We will be streaming almost every night, doing some hybrided 3v3, maybe even some viewer 2s soon. Little interaction there, I suppose. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Hope the video helped. Definitely look forward to making some more videos this week as well. Thanks again for watching. Good luck in the arena. Oh, and don't forget to join the Discord as well. I'll put that in the description.